Okay, the next part of the curriculum I'd like to cover is some of our hand techniques. The first technique is called a jab. From a fighting stance, with our guards up, whenever we punch, we always want to hit with our first two knuckles. And what you want to do is imagine that there's a straight line down your body like this, all the way to the floor. You keep your hands up. As I throw the jab with the front hand, my hand comes straight out towards my opponent. At the very end, it turns to hit with those first two knuckles. Now when I bring it back, I want to come back on the same path that it took out from. So it looks like this, going out straight, hitting, and bringing it back. You're going to get power in this motion by leaning into it a little bit, also the twisting of the arm. Now many of you in the beginning will be jabbing like this, with your elbow up. This is one of the hardest things to get over. It takes time. Like anything else that's worth it, it takes time to perfect. So you want to start off slowly. Jab, jab. You pick it up a little bit once you get experience. Jab, jab. Okay? The next strike is called reverse punch, or in boxing they call it the cross. From here, this backhand is punching. And like I showed earlier on our stances, we need to turn our back foot to the forward stance. So as I throw that reverse punch with my back hand, I turn my foot, and again my hand turns at the very end, and I hit with those first two knuckles only. And then I bring it straight back. So it's reverse punch. Reverse punch. If we were putting these two together, it would probably look as such. Jab, reverse punch. Again, jab, reverse punch. Now there's more to this than really meets the eye. When I throw the jab, that's one thing. I'm not just throwing the reverse punch. I'm also pulling this front hand back, the jab hand back, simultaneously as I punch. This creates torquing of my body, a twisting of my body, and makes it a lot faster and much stronger. So it looks like this. Jab, reverse punch. As I pull this back, this one replaces it. Again, you'll see some beginners, or even yourself, will go jab, you'll bring it back, and then you'll throw the reverse punch. That's not the way it's performed. It's performed jab, bring it back, reverse punch. Jab, bring it back, reverse punch. Let's take a look at it from the side so we can see a side view. From a fighting stance, the jab goes straight out, and then the reverse punch follows as the jab comes back as you turn your foot. Again, jab, reverse punch. Jab, reverse punch. Jab, reverse punch. Thank you. Okay, next I'd like to cover our jab, reverse punch, and how we do it in class with actual pads. Now these pads are a great way to practice. We do a lot of it in class, so then you don't just throw punches or kicks in the air, but you get to feel resistance. They're a great thing. They're like $19.95 each. I highly recommend you get a pair for yourself. And helping me today will be Mr. Scott Bear again. Come on up, Mr. Scott. Very good. How are you today, sir?
Very well, thank you.
All right, guys, handshake. Okay, let's work on the jab first. So Scott, hold this one, please. As he holds it up in class, when I throw that jab, my hand's going to come straight out. Now I have a little target here. My goal is not only to perform the jab properly, but try to hit that target in the same spot every time. So it's jab, 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 jab. Now another drill that is fun to do is for Scott to put it up and then put it down. And I got to work on my reaction. So we move around a little bit with this. And he brings it up, jab, and down, jab, and up, jab, and down, jab, and up, jab. So as he moves around with me, I have to jab him. Okay, now the reverse punch, from here is the same thing, where we turn that body and we hit, turn and hit. You're going to find more power in that reverse punch because of the twisting of the body behind your strike, along with dropping your weight. So we can go reverse punch, or we can go jab, or we can go jab, reverse punch, jab, reverse punch. And again, moving around with this drill, jab, reverse, jab, reverse, jab, reverse, jab, reverse. Jab, reverse. Good. Thank you, sir. Thank you. The next part of the curriculum I'd like to cover are some of our inward elbow strikes and or hook punches. These are circular strikes with our arms, and they're a little bit different. From a fighting stance, when we're moving in, a hook punch is bringing your hand out and bringing it back into you, such in this motion or this motion. Same thing would apply to the elbow. The elbow comes in like this, or the elbow comes in like this. In each one of these, twisting of the body is essential. You must twist your body. So if you see I do it with my front arm, I twist that front foot. I turn my body, I turn my front foot. And if it's coming off the back one, I turn. So it would look like this: elbow strike, or hook punch, hook punch. I must turn my foot in order for my body to turn. Now, one other thing about the elbow strike. In martial arts, it's really kind of funny that things, the more you learn, the more you find out that it's like life skills that we talk about at our center here. It's a life skills training center. If I wanted to hit something with my fist, I'd have to make my fist tight. If I had my hand open like so, and I was striking something with an open hand, my fingers would get smashed. Well, if I'm going to hit something with my elbow or my forearm, then this needs to be tight. So in order for my elbow to be tight, strong, when I'm striking, my hand must be open. This allows my arm to bend more. If I have a tight fist, this is tight, but this is not. So now when I open my hand and I bring my hand into my body as such, now my elbow right here and my ligaments become tight. So when I'm hitting with my elbow strikes, my hands are open. And they actually come into my chest like this. So it's elbow strike, elbow strike, elbow strike. And then of course the hook punches are hook punch, hook punch, hook punch.